So I'm getting ready to head down and take a shower and start working toward bed. So I guess we'll see y'all in the morning.
What did I say? I'm coming downstairs to take a shower and go to bed? Am I nuts? Who's gonna steer the boat? Who's gonna look out for other ships? I mean, this is bad. This is really bad. I mean, the world is starting to spin on me, and I think I'm going nuts. I can't take this. I've been out here too long. I'm going nuts. Oh my God!
This is the story of a boy who in his teens started selling sunfish. In his 30s, he sailed with a friend on his Catalina 27. In his 40s, he bought a Hobie 16, which he sailed every year at the beach for a week. Also in his 40s, he bought a Catalina 27, followed by a Morgan Out Island 41. He sailed the Morgan Out Island for more than 16,000 miles until his 60s when he sold it. He then bought a Hobie 21 SE, which kept him happy for a while, but then he bought a Beneteau 50.4, which he started sailing. And he's sailing it by himself. So sailing solo at 70 is me, David Fansler. Only now I'm 71.
No, I'm not crazy, although it's fun acting that way on occasions. A number of friends and other people have asked, how do you go downstairs and sleep at night when the boat is still moving? It sails itself, so that's pretty cool. But we're going to talk about all the parts that make it possible for me to sleep at night down below. The Autopilot, which steers the boat. AIS, which lets me know about other ships in the area. Radar, which lets me know about other objects in the area. And then my IP camera, which is mounted on top of the mast and allows me to see visually what's in front of me. So we're going to take each one of these things and tear them apart and let you know how they work. So let's get to it. The first item is the Autopilot, and this is the visual part of the Autopilot. It's on standby right now, and to engage it, I simply press the auto button. Now, when I do that, what it does is that it takes the heading that it's currently on and goes in that direction. And it does everything it can to keep the boat going in that direction. If the boat for some reason gets off course by so much, then it sets off an alarm to let me know that there's a problem and I need to address it. Let's see. So it's not going to work like that when I'm sitting still. But you can see when I change it by 10 degrees, the steering wheel changes as well. So I can make adjustments either in plus and minus 10 degrees or plus and minus 1 degree. And so that's how the Autopilot works. So this is the course that I took, the blue line here, and this is where I ran into problems. Right about here, go to Sicily, stop there, came on across, and I dove down into Algeria in order to make a cell phone call to Mary. And then this is where I actually had to stop in Algeria. And I left there and was headed this way, and then finally dove down this way and into Gibraltar. Or actually I'm in La Linea, Spain. So the chart plotter tells me where I am and what's going on. And the AIS is all this confusion that's right there. So let's zoom in on that. Let's zoom in a little bit more, where we can start seeing individual ships. Alright, as you can see, there are a whole lot of ships
in the Gibraltar port. Just tons and tons of them. The red is radar, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But the information that we're looking at here, all these ships, the arrow that's pointing away from them indicates how far or where they will be in 2 hours. So that gives me an indication of how fast they're going. If we move a little bit closer to us, let's take this guy right here. And if you double click on him, we get all sorts of information. That's not the information I want. So this is the Poeta Lopez Agileta. It's from Cyprus. It's a passenger ship. Okay. This is its position. This is where it's going. This is how fast it's going. The range is how far away it is from me. And right now we've lost that little bit of information. But then there's another piece of information that shows up. If I can get rid of that guy. Well, it's not going to show. There you go. It's 2.36 miles from me. So that tells me how far away it is from me. And the other piece of information, let's try a different ship. Let's try this guy right here. Alright, that's not showing that piece of information I was after. Let's try a different one. So the problem is none of these ships are moving. Okay, but what it amounts to, what I was trying to explain is that that it will tell me how close it's going to approach me. Now, if you want to see where I am, I'm in the center of this whole mess of stuff. Let's move up to it. So I'm this black ship right here. If we look at this ship, Malta, from the British Virgin Islands, and so it's not coming toward me. If it were coming toward me, there would be an entry down here, as I said a moment ago, that would tell me how close it was going to approach. And you can actually set an alarm that if it comes within whatever distance you want to set it for, then that alarm will go off, and that would wake me up, and I would be able to take care of things if it looked like it was coming toward me. So that's how AIS works, and I send out an AIS signal as well, and so ships know where I am. They know I'm a sailing boat, and they know what direction I'm headed, and they have the same information about me that I have about them. So that's how AIS works. Radar. Radar will identify signals that aren't there. For example, here's each one of these boats. There's a signal associated with each one of these boats. Now the radar is cranked up a little bit, and I tend to crank it up often because it shows me rain. There's no rain around right now. What we're seeing here are mountains, and here's the pier. Well, not actually the pier, it's a seawall that goes out, and this is the entry into the port. So radar can also set off an alarm, and that's helpful as well. These red rings that you see are rings that I've put up, and each one of them is 2 nautical miles apart. So there's 5 of them, so that means that here I am at the center. Anything outside of this ring is more than 10 nautical miles away from me. So that gives me a way to estimate where things are, how close the shore is, things of that nature. The last thing, I've spoken now about how the boat manages to maintain a course while I'm asleep. Also, the AIS will set off an alarm and wake me up. The radar can do the same thing, and I use the rings to determine where boats are, or not where boats are, but how close things are to me. Now, to get to the IP camera, I have to use an IP address, and I use Microsoft Edge or whatever browser that I want to use. Now, one problem is that, of course, it comes up and says it can't get to the MSN because I'm not connected to the internet. I have to be connected to something, and so what I am connected to is Dragonfire, which is a wireless router that's here on the boat. So the IP camera is plugged into that wireless router. So if we expand this and type in the address and hit enter, then we come up with the information for the camera. So we have to type in the super secret password and click on log on, and there it is. Now, of course, this is a daytime view and it's very easy to see things. At night it goes to black and white, and I tend to crank up the gain on the camera to the point that you can actually see stars. And in order to differentiate between stars and lights of boats, again, the effect of turning it up means that this area of the sea that would be there on the horizon is a different color than the sky, or is a different shade of gray. So I can tell what's a star and what's a boat. So this is the IP camera. It's fixed upon the top of the mast, and the area down here is less than 30 meters, or less than 30. It's less than 10 meters. It's about 30 feet, I think, between where I can't see anything and the beginning of the boat. So it has very good coverage and allows me to see what's going on. So, having all this technology, how do I use it and how do I go to bed? The answer to that is, well, let me show you. So this is the answer to how I can go to bed and still keep up with things. It's a portable screen. It's not big, it's about 12 inches across. So what I do is that this is on a long cable, well, you can't really see it. There's a big reel of cable down there, and that's all attached to this device. Now I have to have power to it somehow, so let's set that down and pull its power plug loose. All right, so it's gone off, and now grab this thing. And we can carry it back here to this aft cabin. This is where I normally sleep while I'm sailing. And if I'm motoring, I sleep out in the main salon where I was a minute ago. And the reason is that the motor is on the other side of this wall, and it's not too loud. I mean, I can sleep with it there, but it's loud enough that I can't hear the alarm on the autopilot go off. So all I have to do is I put in receptacles that have USB. So I normally have a longer cable. So I plug it in there, and then if we watch it, it comes up with the display. So this is a touch screen, so I can use it the same way that, any touch screen. I can bring up the camera from here. I can see
all of what's going on. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. And so being a light sleeper because of my sleep apnea, I wake up at least every hour or so and I'll check to see what's going on. And if everything looks good, then I go back to sleep. If something needs to be taken care of, then I take care of it. And then I come back and go to sleep. And that was the end of that. So actually the cable came. So I hope that gives you an idea of how I'm able to sail single-handedly and still be able to sleep at night. The technology is wonderful as long as it works, and I do strive to keep it working so that I'm safe. My new sail is actually on its way. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of May, the computer says. So with the new sail on its way, it should be here in another 2 or 3 days. I will get it mounted, and I have to put the jib tracks down, which are some tracks that lead the jib sheets, the ropes that go to the jib. I have to get those mounted so that you can adjust those. I was planning on leaving on Monday, the 20, well, that would be the, I don't know, 22nd or something like that. But Mary's closing on our new house on Thursday, and I need to be available in case they need to contact me. So I'm gonna be still here until Thursday. And then Friday, I plan on heading off for the last leg of the adventure to cross the Atlantic. Updates will be posted on Facebook by Mary Mac and as to where I am. And at this point, I'm expecting it to take me, I don't know, 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks to get across. I'm looking forward to it with great anticipation and hope that you will too. Now, of course, once I leave Gibraltar, then I will be out of contact as far as YouTube is concerned. So don't look for any new episodes until, I don't know, another 6 weeks from right now. I'll put some together, at least one while I'm crossing the Atlantic, and have it available and ready to post once I get into Morehead City, North Carolina. So, as I said, I hope this has been informative to you, gives you a sense of confidence as it does me, and we'll see you when I'm back in the United States. So long. Oh, be sure and hit the like button, or better yet, hit that subscribe button. We're up to 306 subscribers, which just absolutely amazes me. I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to want to watch my videos, and it means a lot to me. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.